Hey, it's me. It's animated me. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and it's time for another episode of Completed It. Movie reviews, pop culture, celebrity guests, and all that good stuff. Oh, and my good friend over there, Sasha Alari, is my co-host. Hey, Satch, hit the titles, brother. Welcome everybody back to the channel. Welcome back to Completed It. And as you can see, there we go. Hot Take Friday. We're back with another hot take after last 2 weeks ago we done this, and yeah, I nearly got kicked off my own podcast. As you can see, we're a full house today. My good buddy down there in the bottom right, Mr. Jonathan Noakes. Happy Friday, sir. How are you?
Happy
How are you,
Friday.
mate?
I'm very good, thank you.
Oh my God, I know one of your hot takes. I pre-warned the lads before we hit record. When you give it, I might just go and watch TV or something. I might leave. I might just have to go because
Don't just
when you
listen
told
in.
me this, I said to you,
Eh.
I said, Sash, especially, he might actually kill you. Generally, might kill you.
Yeah.
Aforementioned there, the aforementioned Sash. How are you, bro? Happy Friday.
Yeah, all good, man. All good.
All ready for Hot Take Friday?
Yeah, as always.
I like it. I like it. And a man that's got hot takes pretty much every episode we do, whether it's Marvelous Monday, whether it's movie reviews, whether it's Neil's rant. That could be a new show that we could do, Neil's rant. Top left there. Neil, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm ready for Hot Take Friday. I've got a
Right.
couple. I don't think they're as bad as last 2 weeks ago when we done it. We're going to try and get these out every 2 weeks. But Neil, we'll let you kick it off with the first hot take of Hot Take Friday. Go for it, brother.
Right.
Oh,
I have three.
oh, okay. You can do them all at once, and we can debate it if
No,
you
no,
want.
I was like, all right, I'll do the first one,
Okay.
which is I think that if a movie is at least 15 years old, I I don't think anyone who wasn't around to see it in its like initial run is allowed to judge it. Like,
Oh,
so you know when like we've got like okay, so like people will watch something like I don't know, Only Fools and Horses or like Friends
mm-hmm.
or something, and they'll be like, oh, you know what? These people are really assholes. They're really bad people. They're not nice. And they're judging it by the metrics of today's society.
Mm-hmm.
I think you shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Oh, interesting you should say that, Neil.
I
This will
think
be an interesting
you're allowed to rate it and be like, you know what? I
seven out
watched
of
this. I
yeah,
think I don't understand
7
why
out of
you
10.
guys loved it. It's like a
Yeah,
5 out of
from
10 or
back in.
something,
I
right?
get it.
But I don't think you're allowed to critique the world it was released in because you don't live in that world and things
Yeah.
have changed since
It's
then.
like when I see some old clips of like 70s shows and 60s comedy.
Yeah.
Not a chance in hell could you get away with it now, but I don't sit here and go, you can't say that. Well, this was the
Yeah.
60s. It was a very different world we lived in when comedians were comedians and
Mhm.
they said certain jokes that, yeah, you wouldn't be able to get away with now.
Yeah.
But it's funny you should say that, Neil. I'll get you boys' opinion. I saw a TikTok the other
Mhm.
day, and the guy must have been 19, 20 years old.
Mhm.
His whole TikTok was only fools and horses should be banned. Talk to me. Sash, what do you reckon? You're muted, by the way. There you go.
Should be banned. What,
Yeah,
the
somebody.
greatest fucking British TV show that ever lived?
Yep, should be banned.
What?
He basically said some of the jokes on it. Bear in mind, he's 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And here we go. One of the jokes, Del Boy walked into the pub, and we've probably all seen this episode. There was an Indian guy sitting at the bar, sitting at the table, having his drink, and Del Boy walks up to him and goes, "Oh, that's a nasty spot on you got on your head. You should get rid of that." And this boy reacted to that and was like, "You can't tell a joke like that." And I'm like, dude, that episode probably aired in 1984, 85. It was from
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the very first seasons. So this is to Neil's point. Back when original Only Fools and Horses, like,
Mhm.
which was the 80s, some
Yep.
mothers do have them upstairs, downstairs, one foot in the grave.
Love thy neighbor.
Could you
You know,
imagine Love Thy
you
Neighbor on
can't.
TV now?
I'm like, look, these shows existed before we existed. I like, nah, you can't. You can't judge that show if you're 20 something years old now. You can't judge that show because I be judging. I would like, I judge the stuff that they love, And I'm like, nah, I can judge your stuff
Could you
harsh.
imagine Love Thy Neighbor being broadcast now?
So wait a minute.
Wow.
So you're telling me the Ute get
Mhm.
offended?
I love the fact that you said you
Yeah, that
Yeah.
they get offended. No,
40
but hear
odd
me
year
out.
old man
They
still
get
thinking he's
offended by
done with the
Only
kid.
Fools and Horses,
Mm-hmm.
but they're the first motherfuckers to fling a knife out and fucking
In a fight. Yeah.
kick
When we
off
all
in a
had, when
fight.
we all
All
had
right,
fights when
mate.
we were
Wait,
kids.
listen, you had to have these hands. You had to know how
Yeah,
to
like
scrap.
fucking
Bobbing and weaving, boy.
yeah.
Shash, man, remember the Whitmore days,
Fucking
Shash, when it all kicked off, it was just a fight and that was it. It was
Look,
forgotten
I
about.
remember the
Yeah.
days, right? I remember the days where if you were at school, you had a legitimate beef with someone, it was okay. After school,
Mm,
you
outside.
everyone had their arena,
For a
and
record, I was a lover, not a fighter. I
usually
wasn't
the
really good at
arena.
fighting. I did a lot of running.
Oh no! You
A lot
sometimes
of
you got to
running.
squabble up, and I was like,
Um,
I remember the arena for your school was usually wherever the local park to your school was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, you
And I
remember that
some
park near Whitmore, Sash?
right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it was a bit wild because you had that, and then sometimes it was, like you have a disagreement with someone from a rival school,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody turned up. It was like the main event where
WrestleMania. It's like WrestleMania.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It was like when it was your school versus your school, that was like, that's
Whitmore versus Gayton kind of
right. Yeah,
situation. But yeah, I
that was like SummerSlam, and then WrestleMania was like, oh, we getting other people involved as well.
Yeah.
Other schools are coming down.
But you could do it back then. You could never get away with it now. But it's I saw something on, I can't remember what it was.
Mhm.
Someone said to me that Friends should never have been broadcast because all it was white characters.
Who gives a shit? Like it
Yep.
was the 90s going into
Jesus.
2000.
I know, right? That's what this. I can't remember. Again, I think it was TikTok actually.
Do you know what? You know what the thing
Um,
is? You know why that that idea that thought offends me so much?
mhm.
And I'd say that being the only black person here, right? Because there was a TV show, and I believe it started just before Friends, called Living Single. And Living Single was for all intents and purposes, the black version of Friends, right?
Mhm.
It had Queen Latifah in it, and a couple of other people. I can't remember well, but it was in fact Friends uh stole, copied, imitated
Yep.
the photos from the promotional photos of Living Single, where they're all in like white t-shirt. They all had the white t-shirts with the blue jeans.
Mhm.
Friends took that and then applied it to its own show and put
Gotcha.
it out there. And I'm like, oh, Friends shouldn't air because it was all about white people. I said, listen, they had a black version on TV
Mm.
before Friends, so I don't want to hear no
Go
complaint.
back to the late 80s, one of the probably my second or third greatest comedy of all time, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Spent most of the episodes taking the piss out of a white guy, and it was hilarious. Was Desmond's?
Yeah, Desmond.
It's in my top 3 of all time. That comedy.
I grew up with the real McCoy as well.
Oh, dude!
Desmond,
Now
it
we're
was Will
talking
McCoy.
comedy gold here. We're talking
know.
comedy gold.
Like the Asian people, they had goodness gracious me, right?
Comedy gold.
So I'm like, when I hear people complaining, like, oh my gosh, it's so white. I was like,
Mm.
if you were alive in that time,
Oh, you wouldn't know.
there was other things, right? I'm not saying there was a lot, but there was enough that you could be like, I'm good.
Do you boys think that affects movie making these days?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
definitely.
they got to tread so softly now.
Fuck.
A lot of people said it. I mean, I'm not going to open the whole debate. A lot of people said it about Superman being
What
too
about
woke.
Superman?
Being too woke.
Well, look, you know what? Here's the thing.
Was it though?
I didn't think it was. No, I'm just saying.
I don't really
you know
think
me.
it
I read all
was.
the comments.
Superman
about
wasn't
Superman.
woke. Superman was a depiction of the character that is in line with one, what most people think of when they think of the character, and two, what a vast number of comics depicted the character as. It's
Yeah.
not woke. It's just you're not old enough to have grown up with these comics and these films and these depictions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, we have to literally remember Superman is, what is he, almost 100 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1938.
Yeah, 1930. He's almost 100 years old. Like, chill out with all of that, right?
Yeah, I get it. Neil, great first hot take. Mine,
Mhm.
John, we spoke about this at work, and you and I agreed on my first hot take. I have a horrible feeling again. I could be about to get booted off my own show, our show. My hot take for the first hot take Friday Revenge of the Sith
Oh fuck.
is better than Empire Strikes Back.
Nah, but no, nah. But you know what? You know what? I will always say nah. But you know what? For a lot of 20-year-olds that grew up thinking that the prequels were amazing,
Yeah, but I'm 45.
yeah, that's fine. You're 21 at heart. But I mean, like,
God bless
you
you.
know
I
what I
knew you
mean?
were one of my best friends for a reason.
But like, that's not really a hot take. I think there's a lot.
Okay,
If
I'm,
you
li-
go
I'm liking this.
online,
I
there's
thought I was
a
going to get
lot
killed.
of people. There's
I
a
thought I was
lot of
gonna get
people
killed.
that say that Revenge of the Sith is the greatest Star Wars
Because
movie ever
John,
made.
when you said to me about John,
Yeah.
you agreed. So we were chatting about this at work this week,
Yeah.
and I said to him, I said, John, my hot take for Friday is Revenge of the Sith. What did you say? You kind of agreed.
Yeah. And
It's, do you know what? It's
Now he's got a shy look. He was all
I
giving me
disagree
talk
for
at
a few
work.
reasons, but
Neil, what do you
it's
reckon?
it's not. I don't think.
Not a hot
it's
take. Okay, I'll take that. Okay,
I
I'll
don't
take
think
that.
it's a hot take. I think
there's
it's
a lot of people that
yeah.
love that film. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
do think it is the fucking movie. You know?
Okay.
And for people our generation,
Mhm.
you got to understand it all led to that. Do you know what I mean? Like
We wanted to
all
see how he
roads
become
led to
Darth
that.
Vader.
Like we were all waiting for that fight. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
from the minute they said they were making 3 more, we knew the throwdown had to be that fight. You know what I mean? So for some people, they've been waiting for it their whole lives. They fucking jerking off in the cinema, and they they delivered.
I'll tell you, I'll say this, right?
Okay.
I will say this. The fight in Revenge of the Sith is arguably better than any particular moment you can pluck out from Empire. However, two things. One, I don't think, especially when you think of the impact of it, I don't think there's anything that's ever happened in Star Wars that will ever match up to the magnitude of no, I am your father. And that is Empire. That came out of left field. No one expected that. That changed cinema. Right? Because you think of how many films and books and comic books and things came out where suddenly this person was that person's parent, or this person was that person's sibling, or whatever, right? So nothing matches up
Sounds
to
like
that
a day out in
magnitude.
Hemel Hempstead.
But that fight, I think the only thing that would have ever matched that would have been the reveal of the double-ended lightsaber if it wasn't in the trailer. If you walked into Star Wars blind, and you walked into Phantom Menace blind, and then he's just ready to scrap, pulls out the one blade, pops out the other blade, that's Captain America picking up Thor's hammer. That's a moment in time.
No, agreed.
I knew it.
How good would Phantom Menace have been if they just kept that the whole movie?
Oh,
you imagine
dude.
Everyone
That's
would
the
have
thing.
lost their minds, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing these are moments that are so hard to replicate now because you've got
Yeah.
video games and you've got like animated shows and you've got stuff coming where you see double-ended lightsabers, or it's like it's not a big deal. But that moment,
You know what? I'll tell you a moment which gets overlooked though. It gets overlooked. You know the Hulk movie, Incredible Hulk?
Mhm.
yes,
This will only account to people that before Marvel were popular, right?
yeah,
When you look at Hulk, you had Lou Ferrigno's Hulk, you had the
Yeah.
cartoons, etc. But if you were a PS1 owner, you had this
the
video
game.
game called Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
yeah.
And he has a move in that game.
Oh yeah,
and it's
That
when he splits the car in
splits
half.
the car in
and
half
uses
and
that-
uses them as fists.
Yeah.
When that shit happened in the movie theater, bro, I went wild, bro. Seriously, that was. But again, it's one of those moments, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But that's one that easily gets
Overlooked.
overlooked because a lot of people ain't played
Well, I'll
that
take
game.
it then. That my hot take
Yeah.
wasn't actually my first one.
No, I
Wasn't
don't
too
think-
bad
I
this
don't
week.
think that's a
Okay,
hot take.
my second one you're all gonna hate. We'll get to that in a minute. Jono, what's your? Don't get to the main one yet because I might want to. I'm gonna mute. I'm honestly.
No,
Wait.
don't just listen to him, mate.
Why
No,
you keep trying
no.
to hide?
Don't try hard.
Right?
Honestly, I promise you, everyone stick around for the end of the show because John.
Right.
Wow. Anyway, wow. John, what's your first hot take, my friend?
Rush Hour films underrated. They don't get appreciated as much as they do because Jackie Chan's work in the martial arts world and Chris Tucker comes from the Def Jam
Def Comedy
Black,
Jam.
Def
yeah,
Comedy Jam. Some of the best
stand
comedy ever
up,
written, by the way.
yeah.
Just run it
And
out.
when people think of Jackie Chan, they just think of Rush Hour. They don't think of Another You or Police Story, all the early dub films that he'd done, and
So you're saying Rush Hour
whatever.
doesn't get appreciated that much?
No, don't, man. It's a quality film. No,
Both of them, by the way. And
I
I was
think
gutted when 3 got cancelled.
Well, I got
I
to
get why it
disagree
got
there.
cancelled, but what?
I got to disagree there a little bit
Oh
because
no.
I
while
think
you're
it's the other
right,
way around.
while you're right, because I'm a huge Jackie Chan fan.
Mm.
I love my favorite Jackie Chan film is Wheels on Meals, a film that not that many people have seen, outside hardcore, martial arts fans. Um, Police Story, Project A, all of those films.
mm,
Obviously, that's my Jackie. However, there would be no Jackie to a wider audience
Without Rush
without
Hour.
Rush Hour. Because you got to understand, although I knew who Jackie Chan was because of late night Channel 4, right? In the 90s.
Bravo. Don't forget
Yeah.
Bravo.
Because
My man
that's
was watching Eurotrash before
Nah,
that.
bro.
Though.
Well,
Yeah, all
Eurotrash
right.
and he's a
came
pretty
after,
good
bro.
singer as well.
Eurotrash
Apparently.
came after, or did it come,
That was
or
about
did
the same.
Jackie come after? Either way, same era. It was the same era, Boris. So, like, you got to understand, like, in the 90s, Jackie would be late night TV on Channel 4, but that was only for a selected audience. You know what I mean? But when Rush Hour come on, Rush Hour, I was there working cinema when Rush Hour came out. That was massive business.
Yeah.
And you know what? Rush Hour 2 is my favorite one out of the trilogy because you know what? When Chris Tucker goes Hong Kong, my God, it was fucking joke.
Who are you? I am
me.
me. No, I'm me. No, who is you? I am
Oh, that's
you.
number 3. That's
That's
number
number 3.
3. But yeah,
No, it was like we could have been great together.
yeah.
Man, honestly, some
But
of
you
the
went
best.
crazy.
They were meant to make.
Yes, bitch.
They were meant to make one more, and it got canned because of events in the world. I remember seeing Chris Tucker's interviews. Saying
Still
about
might happen. Still might
I
happen.
really
though.
hope it does. I mean,
Jackie's still talking it up. He was talking it up recently.
please,
So
please make
Yeah.
Rush Hour 4.
Yeah.
Well,
But no,
I
John,
would
I
say-
like it. Neil, what do you have to say about it? Hot take or not?
I think it's the other way around. I think Jackie Chan doesn't get the appreciation because of Rush Hour. I think
Oh.
because
Wow.
I think what it is like Sasha was saying, like there's you have to be a certain demographic of person to have grown up with old school Jackie Chan, like before Hollywood Jackie Chan. Like the first 2 films of Jackie Chan's that I ever saw were, I think it was Operation Condor and
Superman.
yeah, Operation Condor
There's a
and
Superman
Rumble in
reference
the
in
Bronx.
film, man.
Rumble in
That
the
was the first one I
Rumble in the
watched.
Bronx,
and I
yeah.
wasn't
That's the
too
thing.
sure
So
of
I
it.
knew who Jackie Chan was. So when Rush Hour was coming out, I was like, oh, I'm excited. But it's like if your first instinct of coming across Jackie Chan was Rush Hour, then it's difficult for you to get that motivation to go back and watch. Like we're of an era, we all of us, the 4 of us are of this era that when we saw a film we liked, we went backwards to find, oh, this person, this actor that was amazing in this, what else has he done so far?
I done that with Denzel
Most
Washington
people-
in the 90s.
Yeah, most people now, they'll see someone in something they like and then be like, I can't wait to see what you're in next.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I get that. That's
So
a
I
really
think
good,
that
really good analogy.
I think it's more
Yeah.
Jackie Chan isn't as appreciated as he should be because most people know him from Rush Hour and then all the American films that he did post that.
Yeah.
They're not going
Sweet.
back to watch Drunken Master and Project A and Police Story and all of these films. They're not going back to that.
it's
Okay.
like last week. Sorry, mate. It's like last week. I was off work and I was just
Yeah.
going back watching his old films. Obviously, I watched all the Rocky films with Sylvester Stallone. I never watched Cobra until last week. I thought it was bloody amazing.
I've
Cobra's
never
the
seen
one,
Cobra.
bro.
Oh man!
And to think, and here's the craziest thing is when you think that Cobra was the original pitch for
Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Never
Yeah.
seen
Yeah.
Cobra. Wow.
And then
That's a hot take on its own.
oh yeah, it was such a
What-
good film. I never got bored of it. just glued to the TV watching it. Amazing film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great
well,
film.
funnily enough, with Cobra, how the how the Beverly Hills Cop thing was
Mm.
when they're doing Kept Beverly Hills Cop, they wanted the muscle men. You know,
Yeah,
it's
they
going to be
wanted
an
Stallone.
action movie. They went for Schwarzenegger. They went for Willis. No, Willis hadn't broken out yet, but they went for Schwarzenegger, and Schwarzenegger turned it down. So they went to Stallone, and then Stallone was fine. I'll be in it. Blah blah. And he didn't like the script because they only had like half a script.
Mhm.
So he'd rewrite lines of dialogue, and he wrote a drop because Stallone's a writer as well as
Yeah.
a actor, you know. So he's writing it, but he's making it more gritty, like more a gritty kind of movie, less cheesy liners and one-liners and shit. And you know, Jerry Bruckheimer looks at the script. He's like, "This isn't what I want the movie to be." So he fired Stallone and didn't want anything to do with the script. That script got turned into and became what
Beverly
we
Hills
know as
Cop.
Cobra. And then
Which led to Beverly Hills
what they
Cop.
did with Beverly Hills Cop, because they only had half a script, Eddie Murphy was on the rise. So what they did, they were like, you know what, we're going to take a gamble. We're going to put Eddie Murphy in his own movie, and Eddie Murphy had no dialogue. He ad-libbed the whole film. And that's why Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 work, because he was ad-libbing the whole film. There was dialogue for the other actors, but they would have to riff off of Eddie's reaction kind of thing. And that's how Beverly Hills Cop was done. And with Cop 3, they had a script, and they actually had a script, and he kind of stuck to the script because he was trying to be a serious actor.
Yeah.
So again, that was more ego on Eddie's half.
Beverly Hills Cop.
So-
For
Is
me,
that,
if you were with me and John at work last week, John, what do we do all day? Aquel Folly.
Aquel
Literally,
Folly.
Get the
I
fuck
want
out
to
of
see
here.
you.
No, I cannot.
Is that like the concept we're getting with the Running Man? Because I see a lot of people comment on the new trailer, like this is a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. Arnold changed the script,
No,
and then we're getting like the proper one. I don't know. I
so,
sort of,
no. What it is The Running Man is a book written by Stephen King, and he did it
I know.
under his pseudonym Richard Bachman. Now that story, when they decided to make the film, they just changed whatever they needed to change, and they were like, "Oh, this probably won't work," because, not a spoiler, but I mean technically it's a spoiler if you don't know. The story of the Running Man, it takes place. It's not just in this one select area. Like he's able to leave the city,
Like a
leave the
cat and mouse
state.
thing, isn't it?
It's a cat and mouse. Like he's being chased, and what they do is they basically he has to record himself, and then he has to like visit drop boxes and drop these tapes into it. And what that does is it basically shows that he's not just holding up in a hole hiding somewhere, that he's running, he's on the run. And but also the catch 22 of it is that the people hunting him are able to track where he is based on the videos.
Are you looking forward to this new version?
Absolutely, because I
I
love
am.
the book.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I love the film, and I'm so happy that I watched the film before I read the book, because now I just have the appreciation for both. Whereas if I read the book and then tried to watch the film, I'd be like, this is too different. I'm not with this.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. I get it. Sash, what's your first hot take for Hot Take Friday, bro?
I've actually not got one this week.
Welcome to Hot Take Friday, everyone. Sash's hot take is he hasn't got one. Okay, well you can. Do you want to argue my second one? I don't know, Neil. Did you say you had?
Let me
yours?
think of one.
Yeah,
Let me
all
think
right,
of one.
Neil's-
I'll give you my
Right,
second one.
Me and Neil have got one more each. John's got the absolute
Yeah.
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 biggest
All right.
hot take I've ever heard.
My second hot take is Mad Max Fury Road is arguably the most overrated film of like the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, like it's not a bad film, it's not a terrible film, but I'm telling you right now, when that film came out, the hype, the grab, the dick riding. Let's call it what it was. The dick riding of this film was so intense, and I was just like, this film's gonna be glorious. I went out, I bought the. They had a box set of the original trilogy on Blu-ray that had come out, and it had all the special features. It had 4 discs. It was the 3 films and this long ass like the making of Mad Max, the first one, and they went so in depth with all of this, and I was like, this is gonna be epic. You going crazy for this film, and then I saw it, and I was like, this is the action movie equivalent of we're driving down the M1. We realized we've left something at the house, and we went back to go get it.
Sounds like Game of Thrones.
I'm like, that's what I saw, and I was like, that's it. I was like, obviously the spectacle, the practical effects, everything that went into it, amazing. But when I'm just watching it as a film, and I'm like watching this film, and I'm like, the storyline is motherfucker went this way, turned around, and went back
Through the desert.
That's it.
Okay, Sash, you look dumbfounded when Neil said that. What, as you ain't got a hot take, I'll let you take this one, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's wrong, but what I love about that film personally is that it's a visual masterpiece, man. Just the way the cinematography is.
Yeah, but Avatar's a visual masterpiece.
Yeah,
that don't make it the amazing
hear
film.
Hear me out.
Avatar shit.
There's not that much dialogue in that movie.
Avatar is shit.
It's a talent to convey anything without using dialogue, and they did it with bare minimal dialogue. And the only other movie to do that on that scale, well, no, it wasn't even on that scale, but was impressive back in its day, was Conan the Barbarian. That's the only other film where I could say, wow,
Conan the Barbarian is better than Mad Max.
Well, yeah, obviously it's
Not by much.
it's a different kind of thing. But Conan is visually a fucking great movie. You know what I mean? It's all told through the visuals. There's not much dialogue, and everything that's within the dialogue is very specific because it's all plot orientated and stuff. You know what I mean? There's no bullshit fucking you know what I mean? Like whatnot. And the same can be said for Mad Max. So, and what I love about Mad Max, it's delivering action on such a massive scope and scale. Like some of the action scenes I just felt was just like a bravo cinematic masterpiece in terms of car stunts and everything, man. But again, different tastes. I know other friends that share your opinion, but I'm just saying why I liked it. The only thing that I'd say that would make that movie better for myself is if it was Mel Gibson and not Tom Hardy. But I get why they did the change, but it is what it is. I personally think it's in my top 10 of like best films of the decade, but that's just me personally. So
hey, it's all a matter of opinion, like I say in the WhatsApp group all the time.
Hot Take Friday.
Hot Take Friday. Okay, John, I don't know what to do for my next one. Do I go with the Nightmare on Elm Street one or do the James Bond one?
Go with the James Bond one, because if you say some shit about Nightmare on Elm Street, it's gonna be a problem.
What do you reckon, John? I've told you them both, so you know what the both of them are. We spoke about this at work, and you looked.
I'll go.
You
James
know
Bond.
what is over there.
You know what? Just go with James Bond or overrated fucking films anyway. Go for it.
Wow, yeah. James Bond is one of the most overrated franchises of all time. That is my hot take.
Until we get the right one at the end.
Honestly, I can't.
I can understand it.
They're just all
I
the
don't
same.
fully agree, but I can understand it.
They're all the same for me. I don't get it. I don't get me wrong. Like Sash put in our group chat the other day, the
Daniel Craig ones.
Daniel Craig ones I kind of enjoyed because they, like you said, Sash, they followed on. It was a story. We all know.
Yeah, they kind of put more.
Yeah,
that was it. They were kind of designed for
Bond
people
in
that weren't
from Sean
into
Connery to Timothy Dalton to Pierce
Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. They're all like, I've seen one. I've seen them all. It was for me.
You know what?
I don't know.
I understand what where you're coming from. I don't necessarily think it's a hot take,
Yeah.
But the reason I say I don't really think
It's
it's a hot
such a
take
loved franchise, though. So
is because, but do you know why I say that? Because I think the love of James Bond isn't what most people think it is.
oh no, that's a hot take.
The love of James Bond is because James Bond is beloved in England, and then through extension, obviously it's a property that has become is worldwide, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you think about it's just you're saying, oh, you've seen one, you've seen them all. Yes, but
Yeah,
that
for
is
me,
the
it's
but
just
people
kind
can say
of
the same thing about every superhero film: Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Avengers. You've seen one, you've seen them all, right?
Batman.
It's
or John. You don't agree with that?
nah, it's everything because this
John
is
loves
what
Money.
filmmaking is. If you've seen one action movie, one man army, you've seen them all, right? It doesn't matter if it's Commando or if it's John Wick. It's everything is roughly the same. There's only seven in Western society. There are seven storylines. There are seven plot threads, and any film that you see follows one of them seven. When you get to Asian cinema and internationally, that's where things change it up. But genuinely, there's roughly seven, and we pretty much stick to those seven at all times.
Okay.
James
Okay.
Bond, when it's from Doctor No to maybe Casino Royale,
Which one?
as in Daniel Craig Casino,
Yeah.
right? That breath of time, there wasn't really there wasn't a spy genre, right? There was James Bond is a spy, and that's what the archetype of a spy is, right? Yeah, you might have had your Tinker Tailor Soldier spies and all of them kind of things, right? Where they were more like serious and like kind of like downplayed, but of your octane action movie, here's your action hero archetype, it was James Bond.
Okay.
Remember,
Okay.
he was before the muscle action men. He was before the anti-hero action men. You know, when you think of films like Death Proof and that, he was before all of these things that came after him. So
Okay. No, I get it.
his
I
love
get it.
is
Yeah.
is established, right? And whilst it might not be a lot to deal with now, it
Well,
is something that I was like, no, I can understand why
yeah.
they keep making
People are
Bond,
like,
but
okay.
also I can understand why you're like, no,
Yeah.
that's
For me, it's
overrated.
just talking about understanding. Right.
Mhm.
Oh, Jesus Christ. John, sit up straight.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Bear with me, hold on 1 second, 1 second.
Oh wait, I've got a hot take.
Okay,
It's
Okay.
not movies though. It's not
it
movies.
don't matter.
It doesn't
Does
matter.
it not
Just
matter?
say it.
Okay. All right.
Is it the fact that you're about to kill John?
No.
Okay. Okay.
The most underrated video game console of all time. The Sega Saturn.
Dreamcast. Oh, Sam.
Sega Saturn. Dreamcast is up there as well. I would say Dreamcast as well.
Game
Because they
Gear.
kind of go both hand in hand. When I'm
Hmm.
thinking about it, Saturn gets shit on hardcore. And you know what? Like, I totally understand why it was the generation of PS1. Okay. PS1 actually destroyed Sega. Like literally.
Gave us
But
the original
if
FIFA
you
though.
know about the
Gave us
story
the
about
original
E3,
FIFA.
what's that?
Gave us the original FIFA though, the PS1.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
Mega
FIFA
Drive.
was on
Mega Drive.
FIFA was on like
Mega Drive.
SNES and Mega Drive.
No,
Yeah,
the original one with the stars around the players when you could run and do the celebrations.
Yeah,
The first.
Yeah.
that was on
That was on Mega Drive.
and SNES.
FIFA
No, I thought the
95.
FIFA. I thought the one. I
95,
thought the first
96.
one with the names was on. First, when you had the names,
No.
was on PS1. When you had the first FIFA, was on Mega Drive.
Yeah, the first couple of FIFA.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
didn't have
but
no
it's
names.
still the
What, they didn't
same-
have. They didn't have no rights, did they? The first rights
Oh,
game come
right.
with the
Yeah,
PS1.
yeah. No. Burrows is right,
Okay.
but that's still the same franchise.
Okay, I got you. I got
That's
you.
the
But yeah, no,
same
no, no. I
franchise.
tell you what.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
That is a good hot take.
But
However,
but hear me out. Hear me out.
Right.
hurry
Okay.
up because I need you guys to kill John.
All
I've been
right.
waiting. I have been waiting all week for this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Honestly,
Mhm.
yeah,
I've been waiting a week for this. Okay, so I might just go over here, John. Take a time.
We're doing it now.
Yeah, take your time.
1 second. Hold on.
Just remember, just deep breath.
Okay, John. By all means, what you need to say?
Okay, John, give us your final hot take of Hot Take Friday. Good luck.
Okay. All right then.
Don't worry. Don't judge me.
We're waiting. John. We're waiting. Say how you said it at work. You gave it.
Say it with your chest.
Come on, John.
George Lucas is overrated.
You know what? That's not a hot take.
Neil's gone.
That's not a hot take.
Neil's gone. Neil's not here.
Take, though. I'll be honest with you. That's not a hot take because
Neil's gone to get a samurai sword.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's not that's not bad. I mean, like, you know what? Like,
I want to make a good point now. The only reason why I got this little friend behind me was you got Steven. I said this only earlier. You got Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah. Move closer to the camera.
A bunch of other directors, right? Peter Jackson, 14 Oscars for Return of the King. Was it Matt Damon, Ben Affleck got an Oscar for Good Will Hunting?
Yep. James Cameron's got a bunch of Oscars.
And Mr. Paul Lucas hasn't got one. Why? Because Star Wars is the best well-known franchise in the world.
Well,
I
can actually answer
let's
that
go.
question.
So hang on, before we get into it, hang on, before we get into it. So Sash says it's not a hot take. Let's just give Neil his little 2 minutes to come back at John.
There's nothing against George Lucas. I love him. He's done
John's hot take is George Lucas is overrated.
In what sense is he overrated? Because, and this is why I ask you, George Lucas has directed 6 films?
5.
No, didn't he do an animated one? I'm sure there was an animated one. Yeah, something like that.
No, he didn't direct that. He didn't direct that.
Oh, he just produced it.
So you got you've got you got American Graffiti, THX 1138, Star Wars 1, 2, 3, 6 films.
Right.
6 films.
Okay. So he has directed 6 films.
Yeah.
He has given birth to
He's produced loads.
Yeah. He's given birth to 2 franchises that still are around. You know, two beloved franchises exist because of him. If you say director, if you say he's an overrated director, I'm like, you know what? You got a point, because
I could go.
He gave us A New Hope and he gave us the prequels, but at the same time, arguably the best Star Wars film was not directed by him. If you say he's overrated as a writer, it's possible, because
I agree.
You know, you think about it, he did the story for Star Wars. However, when it came to knuckling down and writing the script and writing what wound up being filmed, that was other people. So I get it. I say, yeah, cool. But when you just blanket statement, he's overrated, right? That's some harsh words. I mean, that has created another hot take in my mind, which is Ridley Scott is not the guy for Alien. I don't give a flying fuck what people have to say about that. James Cameron is more important to Alien.
Made me drop my microphone.
You know what? I agree. Yeah, I enjoyed Aliens way better than Alien, but then again, the latest Alien film that come out, I kind of enjoyed it more than Aliens.
But did Ridley Scott direct that film? No.
So okay.
But going back to George Lucas, I'd like to know. Want to know overrated in what capacity?
John, go for it.
I just don't think he should have sold the franchise. I think it.
Yeah, but that's.
I mean, what direction do you think he would have taken Star Wars if he had kept on to it?
I mean, I know what direction he would have taken.
Yeah, me too.
He interviewed multiple times about where he would have taken.
He said where it was going to go, what it was going to do.
Well, okay. So there's multiple facets here. There's multiple facets here.
Okay.
Let's start with facet number 1. Where was he going to take it? Well, to be honest, all right, before we go into his sequel trilogy fucking shit, you got to understand, he was done at 6. He was done at 6 movies, despite saying in the 80s he was going to do 12, then rebuttal to 9, then, you know what I mean? When he was making the prequels, when he was doing episode 1, he goes, no, it's a 6-part saga. And he was kind of adamant to that, because when episode 3 was done and dusted, we weren't waiting for episode 7. You know what I mean? We weren't, because he said it multiple times on the press tour of Revenge of the Sith this is it.
We're done.
We're
Yeah.
probably going to do this animated thing that would become Clone Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it. There was no Star
One
Wars.
of the
There was
greatest animated
nothing.
shows.
All right. There was nothing. It was gone. It was dead. All right. Until Disney bought it and there was a deal, and then you find out episode 7. So what changed? Well, it wasn't the $4 billion that he got in the sale, because if you followed what he did with that money, he gave that all to charity. Like the 4 billion for his life's work, he gave to charity. Why? Because he's making more than that off the back end of that deal. You know, that's why he doesn't speak badly of Disney too much, because he can't. You know what I mean? He's been paid. You know what I mean?
One thing I would like to clarify. I know, but there's one thing you said that needs to be clarified, right?
Oh,
You
yeah,
said
sure.
that there was supposed to be nothing after that. However,
Originally.
if you do recall,
Yeah.
Mark Hamill was interviewed long
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. I did
Yeah.
say that. I mentioned that.
You didn't mention that. You didn't
Yeah, I
say
did
that
mention it.
No, because you were like, "Oh, he did the 3." And you said, you pointed out, he was like, "Oh, there's going to be 12."
Yeah, there's going to be
Walk that
12.
back.
That's when Mark Hamill said way back when in 83, when Return of the Jedi was wrapping, there was originally supposed to be 12.
Mhm.
Then there was supposed to be 9.
Mhm.
Then there was supposed to be 6. Then there was, you know what I mean? And that was done. Okay. So, you know, you got to understand, around the time of Empire Strikes Back,
Mhm.
he could go here, there, and everywhere with the story. You know what I mean? He hadn't even decided that he was going to put episode 5 on the fucking title card yet. Because remember, when A New Hope came out, there was no episode 4 originally,
Yeah.
you know, in front of that title card. That would come when they'd re-released the film in theaters in 1980 before Empire Strikes Back. They put in the episode 4, and then when VHS would come out, all the VHSs say episode 4. You know what I mean? There's no physical print that says nothing on there unless you've got the bootleg copies, you know, that are online that people have made. So, do you know what I mean? I've got to specify 12, 9, 6. Okay. So back in 2008, there was nothing. You know what I mean? There was no Star Wars stories to look forward to. It was done. You know what I mean? So what changed? Okay. Number of things changed. Okay. So he, you know, and he said this in the run up to Force Awakens, he sold the company for multiple things. Everyone working at Lucasfilm at that point, they were his ride or dies. It's like if one of my friends got famous and decided to make a film company and they employed their friends. You know what I mean?
That's going to be me.
Literally. And, you know, he had a lot of families, a lot of workers that, you know, worked with him at ILM, because when he made Star Wars, he built a special effects company. This is going to come back later. Okay. When he built Skywalker Sound, also a company he owns. Okay. When he built that, got loads of people working for him. You know what I mean? So he wanted to do other films and release them, but he didn't want to release them to the public. He just wanted to make films for himself. This is a fact. Look it up. Okay. He wanted to make films, even with big stars, and just film a film. And I've got on my hard drive, I can watch it because I'm rich. That's what he wanted to do. But he realized if he did all of this shit, that's not going to pay the people, you know, his pet projects aren't going to fund or pay for these facilities that he has, earning money off of other films and stuff. Because remember, ILM do a lot of the stuff, or a lot of stuff we see today. Same with Skywalker Sound, same with LucasArts, the gaming company. So what happened was he went for golf or whatever. He met up with Bob Iger, who is the CEO of Disney. Now, Iger's career before becoming CEO head honcho at Disney, he used to work for ABC, which is also owned by Disney, and he was the head guy at television at Disney in the 90s. Him and Lucas worked together on the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles for 3 seasons. They built a relationship. They're really good friends. So, you know, Bob Iger, as you know, Disney want to buy IP at this point. They bought Marvel. They bought the Muppets. They bought, you know what I mean? Now, they're about to release John Carter of Mars, right? Who remembers John Carter of Mars?
I mean, it's the only film I walked out on.
Yeah, well, you know what? John Carter of Mars, believe it or not, John Carter is a series of books And one of those, a couple of those ideas made it into Superman, made it into Star Wars. Like, the arena fight in John Carter of Mars. There's a reason why it looks like Attack of the Clones, because Lucas got that idea from John Carter of Mars. There's a reason why John Carter, when he's on Mars, he could only leap. He can leap through air in a single bound, right? Superman. That's where the guys got the idea. You know what I mean? Well, it's a mixture of that and
He's
Honeyman.
got to
But
copy
anyway,
the goat. Copy the goat.
yeah. So basically, Disney were making John Carter, and they made the deal with George Lucas, and it was a handshake deal, but it was very early days. So what they did, they were like, "Fuck, we could own Star Wars." You know what? This and Tron, because Tron was in production, we're just gonna not pump our marketing too hard on these two movies because we want to make it seem like we're in the Star Wars business. All right. And that they're serious about Star Wars, so they don't want to compete with their own in-house stuff. Sounds stupid, but this is what big corporations do. I've seen it with my own eyes working where I work. So literally, they more or less fed John Carter's to the wolf without any big push on a marketing campaign. Okay, and literally that movie died. Tron kind of lived because it had enough people to back it up, and there wouldn't be a sequel until, well, this year. You know what I mean?
About 2 months time.
Yeah. So literally, they were in the Star Wars business now, and that, he turns around to him and he goes, "Look, we can keep all your people. Yeah, I mean, no problem. We'll look after them. We'll give them Disney pensions. Blah 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 blah." And the other big thing for him selling the company was he got married like probably about 8 years prior, okay, and he was expecting his another son, and he's an older guy. He's got a young son now, kind of thing, about to enter the world. His whole life he's been working on Star Wars and his films and stuff, and he's old. He wants to spend quality time with his son. You know what I mean? And he's rich enough to do it. So he's like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm going to choose family over shit, make sure my people are looked after and fed and they can do whatever they want under Disney and stuff. And that was ultimately some of the reasons for the sale. When it came for an episode 7, 8, and 9, he just had little notes on, there'll be old people. Maybe this would happen. Maybe this would happen. You know what I mean? They weren't concrete stuff that all the fucking grifters online are trying to make out. He had fully fledged screenplays. No, he didn't. You know what I mean? He personally worked with Toy Story writer Michael Arnett, okay, to flesh out his ideas before selling the company to Disney, right? Okay. And that was during the sale under Disney, and Disney didn't like any of his ideas. You know what I mean? They had their own agenda, and then when Lucas left, they kept Arnett and they paired him up with J.J. Abrams. And if you can do your own research into where the script developed and went, but a lot of George Lucas's ideas are there in the Force Awakens making of and stuff, and that's where people are getting the ideas of all of this stuff. But it wasn't like he had a finished screenplay and it was like this happened and that happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got loads of like film ideas where I'm like, I could tell you the whole beginning, middle, and end, but I don't have a screenplay. Do you know what I mean? So when people say like, "Oh, it wasn't finished," there was no pen to paper. So that's ultimately why he sold it. Okay, but in terms of the Oscar, okay, well,
I'm not digging it though. I'm just curious why, because I love the Star Wars franchise, man. I absolutely love it. The only thing that I haven't watched from the franchise is the animated stuff.
Oh, okay. But in terms of the Oscar, that is a really good question, and there's a very good answer
work
as well.
Really early tomorrow morning. So
okay, you're bored. Okay, shut up, man. I stay quiet when you guys talk.
No, I'm just saying.
Right, so,
I'm just saying if it's going to be like
so, like,
this would have been the 1978 Oscars, right?
Yeah. So you got to understand,
John,
right? He was nominated for. I think he was nominated for best screenplay. Am I right, Neil?
That's what I'm looking for.
For Star Wars.
Yeah, for Star Wars. He was nominated.
I think you're right, actually. Where's my? Oh,
It's
Neil
either
can
the
look up. Neil's got his
screenplay
phone.
or
up
for
right now.
director.
He's
I'm
been
not too
nominated a
sure.
couple of times, but just never won.
Well,
Obviously,
only for Star
for
Wars,
Star Wars,
not
yeah, that's
for
what I'm saying.
anything
Yeah, for
else.
anything else, yeah. But
Yeah, yeah.
let's be honest,
So
he's only if it wasn't for Star Wars, would George
yeah,
Lucas be George Lucas?
so this is the thing. This is the thing. The main reason he doesn't have the Oscars is because he's always been anti-establishment. For example, he made, you know what I mean, like when he made his deals to become a fucking billionaire for Star Wars, it was every deal he made was like against the studio's wishes kind of thing. Like merchandising, they didn't give a shit, but he was like, no, I'm going to make some money out of this. You know what I mean?
Oh, and he
So they were
did.
like, well, your movie's going to flop. Here's the merchandising rights. And then they realized like a year
Oh
and a half
shit!
later when the
Yeah.
movie's out, they're like, fuck, we fucked up. Fuck this fuck. When it came to Empire Strikes Back, the studio were like, okay, we'll give you this amount for the movie. And he goes, no, I'm funding it myself because he's rich, bitch. You know what I mean? So he funded the movie himself.
I
How
remember
does
him
that
talking
look?
about that in the documentary.
How does that look like to a studio when they need to control their directors to tell them what to do? Here's George Lucas with the middle finger going, fuck you, you ain't telling me to do nothing. And when it came to the fucking prequels, he put a fucking sale on. Basically, 20th Century Fox, they thought they were big and bad. And they were like, hey, we own Star Wars. Like, okay, when you come do it with us, you know, let us know and we'll do those free prequels. And he turned around to, and bear in mind the special editions, yeah, the special editions. He what's it? They didn't want to bring it out, but he spent his own money doing this visual effects and stuff. He spent his own money on doing the marketing. They put it out there because 20th Century Fox were like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I mean, they put it out. It does gangbusters, rejuvenizes Star Wars, whether you like them or not, and then Fox were like, back to what I was saying. Hey, those prequels, we're up for that. And he goes, you guys don't own the rights to those. I own the rights, and I will pick the studio that I will have distribute them. And he did a fucking sale. He did a sale. All the studios were bidding for this, and then he turned back to Fox and was like, I'll do it if I have full creative control. You guys don't have anything to say, and all you guys got to do is just put it out in cinemas. Who's going to give him an Oscar? They don't like control. Yeah, I mean, they
Sorry, that's the same with all
they love
directors.
I'm
control.
gonna point something out, right?
Keep
I've just been
controlling.
looking this up, right?
Yeah,
Star Wars, as in A New Hope,
Yeah.
right? This film was nominated for
Yeah.
10 Oscars and won 8. He
And won
didn't
what?
win best and won 8.
Oh, 1-8. Yeah,
It didn't win best director. It didn't win best original screenplay, right?
Yeah.
But it was nominated for, and I'm just scrolling through this right now. So no actors were things. Art direction winner.
Yeah.
What else have we got? What's next? Costume design winner.
visual effects.
Directing was nominated. What else? Editing winner. Music winner. Nominated for Best Picture. Winner, sound. Special Achievement Award. They created one just to give it another award, right? Visual effects winner. Nominated for Best Original Screenplay. Didn't win, but it lost out to Annie Hall. Most of the awards it didn't win, it lost to Annie Hall, which is by Woody Allen, which another hot take. I think he is overrated as shit. Right? But yeah, most Oscars it was nominated for, it won. It just didn't win the big one.
the
It
big-
didn't win
the big
acting,
ones,
it
yeah.
didn't win directing, it didn't win original screenplay. Now, I mean, everything that it won, visual effects, he created the company to make the visual effects. So whilst he didn't personally win the Oscar to say, you, George Lucas, here is your Oscar,
You kind of won
he
anyway.
facilitated the victories like nobody's business.
And then you know what? With that Oscar win, what happens? What happens? He owns ILM now,
Yep.
and now every film studio in Hollywood is now going to him for their visual effects. They like ILM did so much visual effects in the 80s for most of the fucking movies that Do you know what I mean? That there
And
was
the
too
90s,
much work.
80s, the 90s.
So
Yeah.
how much did you say sold it to Disney? 4 billion.
4 billion.
And
Yeah.
that was just Lucasfilm.
Yeah. How much?
No,
do
no,
you
no.
think-
That was
how
everything.
much has George Lucas made himself since selling? Has he made more than that?
Well, I think he still owns ILM, so
No, he doesn't.
he doesn't own ILM
Disney
anymore.
own ILM.
Disney
Disney
own
own all of Lucasfilm.
So everything Lucas related,
Yeah, they
Disney
own.
own.
Disney now
Yeah,
owns.
that was
Okay.
part of
Disney
the deal.
now own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was part of the deal.
Part
It
of
wasn't just for Star Wars. They got a steal.
Everything.
They got a steal on 4 billion, and the thing is, he gave it all to the fucking charity. He gave 4
Yeah, he
billion.
gave it
He
away.
gave it
I mean,
away.
I mean, the
gave
thing
it
is,
away.
when you think about it, right? Like, all right, we are saying this. I know, Andy, time's ticking on, but we are
No,
saying,
go.
Yeah.
right? We're all saying this. The four of us live regular lives, right? We live regular lives. We get paid at the end of the month. We pay our bills. We go through life, right? If we were multi-millionaires like George Lucas was prior to the sale of of Lucasfilm, right? If we were there, realistically, but realistically, someone's like, I'm gonna give you 4 billion for everything you've done. If you're not greedy and you really and truly already have all the money you will ever need in your life, your children will ever need in life, you've done everything you want to achieve, like you've bought everything you can buy, then that money's just sitting there doing nothing. So being a philanthropist and just being like, you know what, I'm just gonna spread this out to some charities.
Mm.
It's like, I think, and I'm not suggesting that this is what you mean when you were talking, Sash, but it's like, I think we have a tendency as a human race to look at it like, oh, you got 4 billion, you gave it to charity, and now you're broke.
Yeah, no,
Right,
yeah,
like I
he's
promise you,
sitting
like
great.
George Lucas, like his grandchildren will never shop at a Primark.
Like,
Right,
he's
he's living
got-
the dream.
He's got something like a lot of shares in Disney.
Mm.
And look, if you look at the time period of Disney shares from 2010
Mhm.
to now, fair enough, they've taken a few losses now.
Mhm.
And he's a smart guy where I'm pretty sure he's got a financial advisor that would have
Yeah.
helped him to navigate the
I got one
past
of them.
like
She's
couple
up
of
there.
years.
She's up there.
But like you got to understand, it's not like Disney weren't churning out hits between 2010 and Endgame. It was the decade of Marvel. You know what I mean? So Lucas is good. You know
Shout
what I
out
mean?
Marvelous
I
Mike.
just looked up. I don't know whether it's true on Wikipedia or whatever, but apparently since selling it in 2012, apparently he's made 1.4 billion.
So he's made it back.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
still making money.
He's
For
still
doing
making
nothing.
Look at that. The man, he gave
And he's
away
retired.
4-point-something billion and then made 1-point-something
1.4,
billion
yeah.
after that. Ah,
How many pensioners can do that? Retire and make that? None. Not that many.
Especially in this goddamn country.
But back to Jed. Yes, there's more. Sorry, Andy.
No,
Okay.
honestly, I don't want to
So
go to
back.
bed on that. I
So
don't
back
wanna-
to
We'll call this the hot take
overratedness.
extended version.
Yeah. Back to
Director's cut.
overratedness.
Director's
I
cut.
can
This is it.
understand why some people would think he's overrated because, like Neil said, he wrote the story of Star Wars and the characters and stuff like that. But the actual scripts
Mhm.
for Empire and Jedi were the final scripts of those were written by Loris Kasdan. Okay. And for A New Hope, even though he's the sole credit of A New Hope, you got to understand, under Hollywood, the writers that were on the project the longest get credited. The people that were on there the least usually do not get credited, and they're
Funny-
ghostwriters.
Yeah, funny thing
So-
about that, I
Yeah.
have this. I have I purchased a script of Star Wars of
Yeah.
A New Hope, and the spine of the book credits it says George Lucas and Lawrence Kasdan.
Oh yeah, no, that's Empire. Not Star. Kasdan had nothing to do with Star
Breaking
Wars.
news: Neil has too much money.
Does
This
it
book,
say Kasdan?
right here, right there.
Does it say Kasdan?
Lawrence Kasdan, George Lucas, Star Wars: A New Hope, and this is
I love the way you could,
Interest.
I love the way you could just pull that
So
out.
that's real interesting. I need to see that book and investigate that because I'm under the assumption, and you can look this up, Neil.
Sash is calling the
writers.
Star. He's calling the Star Wars police.
No,
on
no,
you.
no, 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 no,
I
no,
don't think
no.
I'm going to get my head kicked
That's
in now.
fine.
I'm
I need
all
to.
right.
I've
Oh,
never
you've
seen
opened
that book.
Pandora's box. You have.
I've never seen that
Yeah.
book, but I need to double check that.
And
Okay.
that's the thing. I mean, in truth, I mean, I bought that book in like HMV, right?
Okay,
But
God
it's
bless
just
HMV.
for them.
Yeah.
For them, to me, I'm like, for them to put
let
it
me
out
check
there,
that book out, man. Let me check
huh?
that book out.
Yeah, for them
Later on.
to bring
But-
that, because I
But
bought.
let me.
I
Okay.
Okay,
So,
go
but
ahead.
anyway, we're deviating from my point.
Mhm.
So with original Star Wars, when it comes to ghostwriters, the two writers for A New Hope, that by what I've heard,
Mhm.
and I think it's on one of the DVDs, what's it, and one of the documentaries,
Mhm.
it was there's this couple that wrote Temple of Doom, and I forget their
Yeah,
name.
they're a married couple. Yeah,
Yes.
no. It's mentioned. It's them. They get mentioned.
Okay. They were the last two writers, and they were just really brought on board to spruce up Princess Leia's dialogue with Han Solo, because they have a lot of back and forth kind of thing. And they ended up rewriting a lot of the dialogue of the movie, except for all the science fiction, political kind of stuff, because they didn't really understand any of it. They just kind of kept it as it is. But anything between like, Han Solo, Princess Leia and stuff, it was all them kind of thing. So, do you know what I mean? Like, when people think of Star Wars, they think he just thought it up all himself. There are other influences, like when he was cutting the film, the main champion of the original trilogy was his wife, Marcia Lucas.
Yeah.
If there was a shit idea, she'd edit it out. Yeah, I mean, she'd be like, "No, this is bollocks." Like for example, the whole Death Star trench run would not be what it is if it wasn't for his ex-wife. There's loads of stuff she cut out. Like one of the criticisms of the prequels is the clunky dialogue and
Oh, John.
you know what I mean, how wooden people's performances is. But good editors know to cut that shit out, and she was very good at doing that. So he had a lot of help on the way, you know what I mean? But he's still a visionary. He came up with all this shit, and without him, you wouldn't get the shit. So, but I totally agree with you, John, that in some people's eyes he is overrated to a degree. But then at the same time, why didn't he get an Oscar? Because all of these guys do. He's anti-establishment. And if you're anti-establishment and anti the system, they ain't gonna give you a fucking Oscar. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're not playing by their rules,
Yeah.
And he
You know
never
what?
did his whole career. So
To jump on with Sasha's point, to prove how anti-establishment he is, Star Wars, A New Hope won all them Oscars. The other films did not. They didn't win as many Oscars. One of the core reasons you say anti-establishment, if you know the story of George Lucas and Star Wars getting fined when
for
Empire
Empire.
Strikes Back was coming
Yeah.
out. So there used to be a rule in Hollywood, right, where the credits have to come before the movie. When he did A New Hope, they let him slide. When he did Empire, they didn't let him slide. They were like, nah, you gotta put some credits in there. He was like, I'm not doing that. They fined him, and they fined, I think, I can't
They
remember
find the
the number.
director. They actually find Ivan Kershner, and Lucas paid off his fine.
It wasn't
And
just
they went
Ivan
after it.
Kershner. I think they find the people who helped put that on the screen. That the fact that you don't see opening credits, so it was like the editors and the other. They find
I'm pretty sure it was Kershner, but look it up.
Yeah, Ivan Kershner, because he directed it.
Yeah.
But they find a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Lucas paid all of those fines out of his own pocket,
yeah.
and then stepped out of the Directors Guild of America, which is why he couldn't get Steven Spielberg to direct Return of the
Return of
Jedi.
the Jedi. Yeah,
Right? It was all of that. When he was anti-establishment and the establishment did not like it, they were like, nah, this guy can't get no Oscars. He can't get
Spielberg was meant to do Jedi.
yeah.
He was
I
his
didn't know
first
that.
choice. His first choice was Steven
So
Spielberg.
basically, it's all down to George Lucas not winning an Oscar for any of his Star Wars work. It's down to political bollocks then.
Yeah.
Arsehole.
Because think about it, Empire Strikes Back is arguably,
Ask another question.
at the time, arguably the biggest sequel in the history of film. at the time it came out, and you're telling me that film was not going to win an Oscar, right? That
Yeah.
is down to the establishment.
What did win the Oscar for 1980?
For 1980,
Well, it would have been 81, right?
it
Because it came out summer 1980.
yeah, then it would have been
nominated for
81 Oscars.
Yeah. What did come out?
Didn't there was a famous British film I think that went to #1 before Jedi in the UK. I'm not sure if it was could be wrong. I'm sure it was like a in Carry On film or On the Buses that beat Jedi in the box office.
Probably.
You know what's crazy? I'm looking at this right now, and for the 1980s, Jedi got a bunch of special achievement awards.
Yeah.
So it didn't win any like Raging. I mean, look, the best actor was Raging Bull. So I'm pretty sure that, when we look at it, yeah, Robert De Niro.
Yeah, he probably deserved that.
All right, best movie, best. There's a film keeps coming up called Tess. So
I've heard of
Tess won
Tess.
art direction, cinematography, costume design. Ordinary People won directing.
Yeah.
Raging Bull won editing.
I could see why.
I mean, the only thing I'm scrolling through this list. The only thing that where I can see Star Wars is music,
Yeah.
where Fame won, and it was hold on. Yeah, Fame won for musical score, and Empire Strikes Back was nominated. That's it.
What won visual effects?
Oh yeah, let's just do the whole fucking 1980s Oscars. Who wants to go to bed anyway?
Yeah.
I'm looking. All right, visual effects.
Fucking
it
hell.
hasn't even come out.
Is it still Friday?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to check. Anyway, as you were, lads.
As crazy as I'm
Welcome
not joking
to
when I
Hot
say
Take
this.
Saturday morning, everybody.
I'm not joking when I say
Andy
this.
Burrows.
There is no visual effects award. There is no visual effects award.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it got a special achievement award.
Right.
It's a
Special achievement award, visual
Make an
effects,
award.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. My hot take. Stan Lee is overrated.
Shut up! Right,
No,
we will get into this next
no,
week.
no.
We've done an extended
Bob Kane.
version.
Bob Kane is overrated.
Absolutely,
Stan Lee is not overrated.
Okay,
in
we'll
no
get him.
capacity.
We are going to be back next week with another Hot Take Friday / going into Saturday morning extended version. I didn't get to do my RoboCop or Nightmare on Elm Street hot takes. Next week, RoboCop, Nightmare on Elm Street. I've got some hot takes.
Yo, what's wrong with RoboCop?
Hey, I've got
Wrong
hot
with
takes.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'll
Nightmare
tell
on
you
Elm
what's
Street.
wrong with RoboCop. Absolutely nothing, but
I
someone's
know.
got an issue with it.
Actually, no,
What?
I lie. There is one glaring, horrible thing wrong with RoboCop.
Save it for next week.
The inside,
Save it.
Leo
Save it
put
for
it out
next week.
there,
Save
and I
it.
cannot unsee
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Let's
Okay,
save that for next
Save
week.
it next
Yeah.
week.
Save
We're
that
going to
for
be
next
back
week.
with Hot Take Friday / Saturday / Sunday, however long it goes on for.
Yeah.
If you've made it this far, I hope you've enjoyed Hot Take Friday extended version, director's cut,
Mhm.
Blu-ray added on extras. It's been good fun, boys. I really do
Yeah.
enjoying these. Next week we'll do another one next week. Then we'll put one out next week because I've got RoboCop, I've got Nightmare on Elm Street, and I've got the horror genre in general from the 80s. I've got some hot takes. Sorry.
What's your full postal address?
Oh dear.
Dead or alive,
I know,
you're coming with me.
I will find you. I will get you. As always, if you want to check out our content, go onto YouTube, type in Completed It Podcast, the little logo behind me there. You will see. And you can also find us on X at Completed It Pod. We've done some great content that's been out this week. We sat down with Ma Kent, Sash, probably one of my favorite interviews I've ever done. What a lovely lady. Go and check out the interview. With the lovely lady Neva Howell that played Ma Kent in the Superman 2025 movie. We hopefully by next week should have all seen Naked Gun. Neil, are you up to date yet? No. Okay. So hopefully all of us might have seen Naked Gun by next week, and we will sit down and review that. Marvelous Monday. We are up to Guardians of the Galaxy. Sash will try and get through that episode without crying because we know how he feels about that movie. But like I say, if you want to go and check us out on YouTube, on X, you can find it. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been an extended version of Hot Take Friday. I hope you've enjoyed it. Till next time, everybody, stay safe.
Feeling overwhelmed by the challenges of daily life? Struggling with anxiety, stress, depression, phobias, fears, or just trying to get yourself back again? Discover the transformative power of focused solution hypnotherapy and counseling. Through guided hypnotherapy, relaxation trance allows your subconscious mind to access your inner resources and strengths you didn't know you had. Book your free consultation today and let's start your journey together. For more information, please email Sharon at scm-therapy.me